Hi everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thank you for watching my tutorial today. It's Wednesday, so it's a Hobbybase kit tutorial. So today I'm sharing with you this Tealight Candle Card. Now I was actually asked to do one of these from one of my followers, and I hadn't heard of such a thing, and I had a look on YouTube and I found one 6 years ago from the Happy Crafter. So I had a look at her video and then I have adapted it and changed it and used different measurements and so on and so forth. But I actually really like the concept. So basically there are 4 tea lights in the bottom here. You just open up the side and out they will come. Okay, so there's 4 of them in there. And then this here is the card. So you'd open it up and you'd write your message and your, stamp your sentiment or whatever in there. And then it stands up like so. So when you're looking, straight on, this is how you see it, and I really like it. Now you can have it that way as well if you want. Kind of does sit, but the problem is this bit isn't flush because you've got the bulkiness of the closure here on the box. So, but I like it like that. It's different, and it would look different up on someone's mantle, and so on and so forth. So this is a really nice little gift. It's nice as a little get well thing, the little candles in it. I've done it as the birthday because it was the sentiment that I had in the kit, and today I'm using thank you. So I'm changing it because I only had one of these happy birthdays and the other sentiments didn't quite work. I didn't think anyway with this, but very, very easy to do and just a nice take on a greeting card. So I am bringing in these here. So the main reason for this, and when I said to the lovely lady who asked me to do it, I thought it worked well with this Moroccan themed box because I had this sheet of vellum. So this was an A5 sheet of vellum that we received in the kit, and I just thought it worked really well. And the Moroccan and candles, it all kind of sits quite well together. So that's what I've done. So with this vellum, so you could have vellum or you can use acetate. You could just use tracing paper. That will also work as well. Or if you don't have either, you can keep it plain. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be able to see through it. So that was just a piece that I've still got left over. So all the elements here, so I've just die cut some bits to decorate. These are from my own stash. And then we received all of these faceted gems, as I've shown in nearly every week now, these ones here, but I'm using the silver today. And I've just heat embossed my thank you sentiment and die cut a few bits there to decorate, which I'll talk you through in a moment. Now we also received this trellis, like laser cut card, so I'm using some of that to decorate the inside of the card as well. Just I thought it'd be really nice. It's come on this here, and I've just trimmed it down, but this would have been a piece of A4 originally, and it's just really nice. Just gives another fun kind of texture to your paper craft. So let's just carefully pop that to one side so I don't get that ruined. Okay, so for the main Tealight card, you need a piece of 7 3/4 by 11. Okay, and then to decorate inside and on the, where did I have these bits? Inside and on the top, I believe. So these are 3 by 6. Okay, so 2 pieces of 3 by 6. And then if you're going to be doing this vellum or acetate piece, you want a piece there that's 6 1/8, I would say go for. It's in between, but you actually want it to be 6 1/8 by 1.5. Okay, so first of all, starting with, I don't know where my stylus has gone, so I'm going to use this one here. Okay, so starting along the 7 3/4 side, you want to score at, I think I've done it that way first, yeah, so you want to score at 1/2 inch and at 1 inch, and then at 7 1/4. So you have a 1/2 inch tab here and 2 1/2 inch strips here. Okay, then rotate, so it's now along the 11 inch side, and you want to score at 3 1/4. Don't worry about this pencil mark for the minute, because what I've done on the other one is I actually scored here, which created this score line here, but all it's done is there's no purpose, it's actually just weakened that, and I just want that to be one continual piece. So the pencil mark is just there as a guide, which I'll explain in a moment. So it was 3 1/4, 8 1/8 of an inch, 8 5/8 of an inch, 10 1/4, and 11 3/4. So you should have a very tiny 1/4 inch tab on the end here, then a 1/2 inch, and then this is the top of our like candle box, tea light candle box. Then you've got a 1/2 inch side and then the base. And this is all that base, and then that's the front of the card. Okay, so let's get rid of the scoreboard. And then what you can do is just add this pencil mark in, and all it is a guide for when we're folding it all together. So you need to, so if you've got that 1/4 inch tab here, half that section and then half, from this half one here, you just want to mark at, what was it here, 1 5/8 of an inch. Just put a pencil mark there. Okay, and then again at the bottom, 1 5/8 of an inch, and then just very lightly just draw a pencil line, just joining that up. Okay, it will make sense in a minute when we come to folding it all together. Right, so now we can burnish all of these score lines. So just carefully go along and burnish all those lines. Okay, so now that's everything burnished. So now we need to do a little bit of cutting. So I've now got that 1/4 inch piece and that 1/2 inch piece facing me. So you've got the two bigger and that kind of flat ends there facing away. What we're going to do first of all is I'm just going to use a pencil, and we're going to cut away this section and this section. So we're cutting this one and this one. So those two areas there down to this pencil mark. Okay, so you're cutting down to the pencil mark. And then on this side, you're going to cut away the two bits there, and again, so now we're going to cut those two and those two again, just down to that pencil mark. So we'll do those first. So very neatly, I'm going to cut down that pencil. Okay, and then, so you've got the two burnished pieces, it's the second one because you're removing all of that. So very carefully, because these two now are your card. So you want this to be really, really neat. You may want to cut this through your trimmer instead if you would prefer. Okay, so now with that 1/4 inch piece at the top, you can see there what I've removed from that side. And then where I've put those two crosses up to that pencil mark, I'm going to remove the same. So again, this is now the other side of your actual card. So you just want to make sure I'm removing all of the score line, so it just gives you a nice finished look, and then just cut up that pencil mark. Okay, so that's now what we will have, this piece here. So let's just bring that one around that way. So now what we need to do is make it a bit easier actually. So you've got two 1/2 inch pieces on this side and you've got one on that side. This side here, just cut up each of those lines or score lines to that first score line. So you're just cutting those, and then that very last one where we've got this tiny little piece, you just want to remove that completely. This 1/4 inch piece is our very small tab to put it all together. So that's the 1/4 inch, come along here, and then you will have these two score lines again there. So just cut up just to the first and then cut down. So we're removing just that tiny bit on the end there. Okay. So now I've got these two like so. What we want to do is this bottom, first of all, if I just cut, so we've got, if I just do a little, we're going to remove all of that, and that. So if I just bring this up, so we've got the two score lines. This whole piece here is going to be what we do the box up with. So this is going to be our closure. That's going to be one little tab, so we need to get rid of the bit above it. And then we want to remove both those pieces and then this little one. So the easiest way to do this first is first of all cut right along. So you've got that first score line there. Just cut all the way along to that one. Okay. And then remove that whole piece. Okay, it's much easier that way. And then all you need to do is cut down that one, and that one. So now we've got the three, just like the other side. And now it makes it easier for you to get your scissors in and remove that whole piece. Like so. Okay, so if I lie this down, do it that way, so our 1/4 inch tab on that side, that's what we will have. Now this template I will put onto my blog, okay, so you'll be able to see exactly, but you will have 2 pieces. This will now form our card, and then this is all going to be put together like so. Just roughly give you an idea of how this is all going to kind of sit, and then this bit here is going to be a little bit that goes in to do it up, but you can see now how that's all coming together and it will look like that. Okay, so we now need to cut out our, so this bit here is going to fold around like so, and this is where we're going to be putting our acetate piece in. Now if you don't have that or you don't want to do it, leave this bit. You don't need to do the bit I'm going to show you next. Basically what you want to do, so you've got the 1/4 inch tab and this 1/2 inch side. Remember, we're working in this area here. I'm going to use my cutting knife, but you can use your trimmer, or if you have a nice enough rectangle die that will sit within that to give you, you know, we've got about a 1/4 inch border all the way around there, then you can obviously do that as well. But all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw this in. So I'm coming in from a 1/4 inch from both top and bottom there. And if I just draw this all out first, then you'll be able to see exactly what it is I'm doing. So I'm just drawing another rectangle within this rectangle, just so that I know where I'm going to be cutting. And then I can just join up these, because I'm going to cut these all out in a moment, like so. So I've just in pencil drawn another rectangle, given myself a 1/4 inch border all within that piece there. Okay, so then using my metal ruler and my cutting knife, I'm very carefully going to go along. Like I said, now you could just put this in your trimmer, which I can do as well, but just want to show you ways to do it if you don't have all the tools. And then I'm just going to cut right the way down. Do both the long sides first. Ooh. Good job I went into the middle there, because I don't need that. I didn't stick along my ruler. And then we can just join up the 2 corners. Okay, so that piece has just now come out, and then all I need to do is just rub out any little bits of pencil there that I can see just on those corners. Okay, so you can see now, just when you use a cutting knife you have a bit more control. With a trimmer, even though you've got pointers that you can help you meet up to where you need to, if you go off slightly, you know, it's hard to kind of fix, whereas with the knife it's quite easy to do that way. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it over, and then with my piece of acetate, which I cut earlier, that will sit perfectly in that whole rectangle. So if I flip it over now, so again, it doesn't matter if you're using acetate at this same time, you can see now that's going to fill that really nicely. So what I'm going to do is just run some of my, you could use red tape if you've got really, really thin red tape, but I'm going to use my wet glue here, and I'm just going to very thin layer. This is such a light, you know, the vellum here is so light, you don't need much at all, and you don't want it to splodge all over so you see it through the other side. So make sure it's a very thin amount, and then what you can do is just rub your finger all the way along, so you're just creating a nice tacky area there, and then I know none of that's going to stick out over the other side, and then just run that down. Like I said, I've done it the measurement so it will fit perfectly inside, like so. And you can see now how nice that looks. Okay, so before we assemble it, what you want to do is with these little square tabs is just take a little wedge off of the corners. So I'm just putting a little notch there, and it will just help these fold in a little bit easier. That one, and then around this side here. Okay, so if I just lay that flat, you can see there the little shape that I've created. Okay, and then again with this piece here, so the most outer one, so you've got 2, is just again take a little, just a thin little wedge off. Don't want to take much because you do want this to be quite a snug fit when it closes. Okay, so now let's pop it together. So we've got that pencil mark on the back here. When we stick this down, you know what I mean? You could maybe not have your side here. It needs to be completely straight. So you can line it up. I guess you can just line it up with the edge of this here. So what I'm going to do is rub this pencil mark out. And so with my thin red tape, this is my 1/4 inch one, I'm going to pop this along my 1/4 inch tab, like so. Okay, make sure that's really stuck down. And then if you want to use wet glue at this point, just to give you the wiggle room, you can. And what I'm going to do is just put some wet glue over the top of that, which will allow me to move it a little bit first. Flip it over, bring it all under, and then line up the side here, so not the tab, the side base, with the very, very end of this bit here, okay? So, there we go. I do need to put a bit more glue on that. And actually, if you fold the whole thing flat, it will all sit nicely into place. Okay, so now when you bring that up, you'll see we've got this nice little rectangle box. So this end here with the two pieces are going to be where we close it, this end here. So what I would do is, obviously that's going to be the front. So this one at the back you want to put down first, okay? And then put some glue on this side here of these tabs. So on that one and on that one. And then fold those over. And then you can run wet glue on the back of that other piece, like so. Close that one up, pop it on its side, and then with your ruler, pop your ruler inside, and you can just then make sure that's all nicely stuck down. Okay, and then with your tea lights, you can just check now, and just make sure, and you should fit 4. Now these are the deep ones. These are, like I said, they are thicker. I thought I had 4. Oh, I've obviously left another one in my thing, but you can see now the 4th one to fit in. I'll grab that at the end, but we'll take those back out. So that's that done, and then this one here will just fold in like so, and then that top one we'll just close like so. So that is the base there. It's really, really nice. Then this will fold over, creating our card. Now you will see it might catch slightly because obviously we brought this piece up. So what you want to go along and do is just cut a very, very, I'd say like a millimetre. If you want to do a pencil, you can. You can see there just the very tiny amount that I'm cutting off, and then it closes and fits in there perfectly. Okay, so it's just a tiny bit. To do that as a measurement for you guys would have just been, it's easier to just cut off a little bit like that. And then I'm just going to burnish that better, and then it will stand up. Once we put our stuff on there, that will slowly drop in there a bit more, but it will, yeah, sit lovely. It will stand. Okay, so now we can decorate. So I'm going to, okay, so with these 2 white pieces, so one is going to go on the front and it will give you a nice border, and then the other one is going to go inside here for where you can write your sentiment. Okay, so I've already popped all my backing on, so I'm going to get those all stuck down. Okay, so that's all stuck down. So there's the inside and then there's the top, and I just need to decorate it. So I've got these to all nest on top of each other. So I've just die cut another piece, but I'm going to sit it on the white just so that it really pops and really stands out, because once the white of the candles goes behind this, these end up matching. So I've got that one, and then I've got that one to go on top there as well. So that's going to go in the middle, and then I'm going to dress it and finish it with all these lovely silver little embellishments. Okay, so I'm just adding my 4 candles. Anybody who is from the UK will probably chuckle when I say that as well, 4 candles. Anyway, there we go. There you have it. A beautiful way to gift some tea lights and also a nice card. So as again, if it opens up like so, And now, because it's not got that score line on the back, whereas that one did, there you go, just unnecessary. So there's the two of them, and they will stand up, and that will drop a little bit more, but it still looks lovely. I mean, that's the way that you're looking at it anyway. But again, how nice is that to gift to someone? They're great for craft fairs as well, because they're very inexpensive and they don't take too long to make. If you just make a batch of the template kind of thing, then you should be able to whiz through them quite easily. But there you have it. So hope you've enjoyed it. If you are again interested in finding out more about the Hobbybase monthly kit, all the links are shared below. And yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye.